Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I'm going to be doing some Halloween inspired nails. These are all going to be beginner friendly. I'm going to start off with applying a base coat, and then the colors I'm going to be using are black, white, and I'm going to be using this nude pink for one of the nails. I am going to apply 2 layers of each color, allowing it to cure in between. This set is actually going to be a Michael Myers set. So I'm going to start off with using this nail decal of Michael Myers and applying it to the middle nail. If you don't have a decal, you can use a nail sticker. Nail stickers and decals are really inexpensive. I actually sell these decals that I'm using in this video. I will leave the links in the description box, but you guys can go and check on Etsy, Amazon, and eBay. They are usually under $5 for a sheet of nail stickers or decals. So I'm applying a black border around this nail because this decal was just slightly smaller, so there was still a little space on the side showing. And after I cured that border, I'm just going in with a top coat. I'm going to move on to the next nail. Just an FYI, I am doing a full set, and the other nails for the other hand are going to be the same exact design. So I'm just going to show you guys the 5 designs that I do for one side. So the next design I'm doing is going to be a French nail. I'm taking that pink jelly nail, and then I'm going to go in with a white gel polish to create a French. There's so many different ways to do a French tip nail, but I suggest with this design that you make sure you go a little bit further up the nail because we're going to be creating some drips going down the white part of this nail. So you want to have some space towards the bottom of the nail. Now I'm going to go in with a red gel polish, and you can work in sections in this part. You can line just right where that pink and white meets and then cure it and then go back in and do the design. If you're comfortable enough, you can just go in and do the entire design and then cure it when you're finished drawing the actual design. So I am taking that red color all the way up to where I polished the nail white on the sides there, and then I'm going to create some lines going down. Don't make too many lines. You don't want it to be too crowded with the drips. Just make sure there's a good amount of space in between them. And then you're going to go back in and round out that area in between the lines. So just Google some images of nail drips and you guys can get a visual of how it looks. So you want it to have that curve in between all of the lines. It makes it look like it's actually dripping. Also keep in mind that you need to do the drips a different length. If you do all of the lines one length, it's going to look really weird. So you see I have one of the drips going down further than all the other ones. And then if you want to do some drips that are a little higher, you can do so. But doing all the drips the same length definitely makes it look off and weird. And it may come out looking a little bit too crowded. So after you are done with those arches in between the lines, you're going to take a dotting tool, and at the end of each line, you're going to create a small little dot. Again, you can go ahead and cure at this point just so you have your nail design, set and established so you don't mess it up. And then you can go back in and do the next step. And the next step is going to be to create a slightly curved line between the straight line and that dot. Again, think of drips. So a lot of the times drips don't just have a line and then a ball at the end. They kind of look like a teardrop shape at the end. So that is what you're going to do. You want to connect those little dots to the line that's going straight down so it looks more curved and more of a teardrop shape. So after you're done with that design, you want to cure it. And then if you want to add something else like rhinestones or anything else to the nail, you can do so. I'm done with this nail. I'm going to apply a glossy top coat and I'm going to move on to the next nail. For this design, you're going to need a brush that has bristles like the one I have here. You can use an old toothbrush as well. I just dipped my corner into rubbing alcohol. You can dip it in water if you want. Rubbing alcohol, acetone, something that's going to wet up the brush. Then you're going to take the brush, the part that you wet, and dip it in some red gel polish. So after that, you're going to do some splattering. So take that little corner where you have the gel polish on and splatter it. That's why you need to wet the brush a little bit. It's going to help release that gel polish that is on the bristles easily to create this splatter effect. And then if you want to go in, you can with a brush or a dotting tool if you want to make like bigger blood dots or whatever. But after that, you're going to cure it and then apply a top coat. Unless you want to add anything else to the nail, you are done. So for the next nail, this is going to be really easy and we're just applying some rhinestones. You can apply one rhinestone, you can apply it going down the nail, at the tip of the nail, whatever it is you want. I usually keep mine at the base of the nail and I added one big stone to the center, and then for the rhinestones that are on the outside, I just went a size down with each of them. Then I'm going over it with a glossy top coat and we're done with this nail. We're going to go on to the next nail. The last nail we're doing, again, super simple. I took my red gel polish and just applied some red blobs right with the brush itself. And I allowed those nails to cure, went over it with a glossy top coat, and that's it. We're done with the first set. The second set is going to be a Nightmare on Elm Street design. I already applied a base coat and now I'm going in with my base colors. I'm going to do the easiest nail first, and that is this red nail here. So I applied a red gel polish. I let that cure and then I applied 2 coats of this red glitter gel polish, and then I applied a glossy top coat. For the next nail, I'm going to be applying a Freddy decal that I have. If you don't have a decal, again, you can use a sticker. If you don't have either, what you can do is basically draw a Freddy Krueger silhouette. I am going to add a photo in the corner of this video so you guys can see an example of that. But if you Google Freddy Krueger silhouette, a whole bunch of different options pop up, and it's basically you're just drawing his silhouette. So it's just going to be black or white, whatever color you choose, and there's not going to be a whole bunch of detail involved, but it's a easy way to add him to the nail design. I applied a glossy top coat to that nail, and now I'm going to move on to the next nail. For this one, you're going to need green and red. We're basically just creating stripes going across the nail to create his sweater design. So you're going to need a skinny nail art brush for this. You might want to use one that's skinnier than mine to create that line going across the nail, and then you can fill in that area. So take your nail art brush, create that line going across, and then take the color and fill in that whole area. You're also going to cure each color individually. So that green stripe that I created is already cured, and now that I'm going in with the red, once I'm done, I'm going to cure that, and then I'm going to go back in with another green stripe underneath it. This can be a little time consuming, so another little tip is to make the stripes bigger than what I'm making it. That way you don't have that many stripes to do. So you can make 3 or 4 stripes on this nail depending on how long your nail is. After you're done with the stripes, if you need to apply a second coat of each color, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just apply your top coat and move on to the next nail. So this nail I'm going to polish green because we're going to be writing Elm Street on this. So when you're writing letters on a nail, you want to take the skinniest brush that you have. The brush I'm using is a little bit bigger than what I would recommend. I'm using it just because it's one of my favorite brushes and I'm kind of used to using it, but you want to use something skinnier than this. Also, you don't have to fully fill in the letters just yet. You can basically make a light outline of each letter. Make sure that you have enough space on your nail before you cure it or fully invest your time into filling in the letters. Then once you have that rough outline of the letters, you want to cure that, and then you can go back in and fill in everything. Just take your time with your letters, have a sturdy surface to lean on, and fill it in more as you see fit. Okay, so make your lines skinny, cure it, and then go back in and you can make the lines thicker. I'm writing ST right at the corner of the nail so that it says Elm Street. After I'm done, apply a glossy top coat and we'll move on to the next nail. For the next nail, we're going to be creating some skin slashes. So I want to use a flesh tone gel polish. If you don't have that, you can mix a yellow with a light pink color. That one's almost like a salmon, and white, and just mix those colors until you get the color that you want. Then we're going to take that nude flesh color and apply it to the entire nail. I do end up using 2 coats of this. After it's fully cured, you're going to take your nail art brush and dip it in a red color and create 3 lines going across the nail. If you have a smaller nail, you can make 1 or 2, but you want to make them a little bit like wiggly. You don't have to make them perfectly straight. Then I'm going to take that brush and we're going to do that same splatter effect on the nail. Then you can put your nail in your gel lamp to cure that part of the design. After it's done curing, take a black gel polish, or you can take a dark brown and just go right down the center of those red slashes you created. As you can see, it's going to create some depth in the slashes, so it's not just a flat red line going across it. So you don't need to use a lot. You don't need to make it super thick. Just a nice thin line of black going across the nail. You can go ahead and cure that. After that, I'm just taking the red polish and bringing some drips down the slashes. That's optional. You don't have to do it on all of the slashes or even any at all, but I'm going to go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to put this nail in the lamp to cure. After that design is fully cured, you can go back in with that red color and go right on top of the black. So I like to do this just to kind of soften the black up a little bit. It still keeps that depth to the design, but it just adds a little bit something more to it. So the red that you apply over that black part doesn't have to be super solid. We're not fully covering the black, we're just kind of toning it down. So that is the nail design. After I cured that, I'm applying my glossy top coat. And this is actually the last nail for this set. And that is all for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this or found this helpful. So this is how the Nightmare on Elm Street set came out. And I'm going to be listing both of these sets for sale at my shop. And each nail set that I sell in my shop does include 6 extra nails. And those extra nails always match the original full set. I just like to add some extra nails just in case you lose one or you want to switch a nail out for a different design. I am going to be adding a whole bunch of horror sets in my shop. You can check out the links in the description box below, along with a nice coupon code for all of you guys. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.